Hello and welcome to another Wise Option e-learning. Today we are going to be talking about the contracts module, and we are going to be talking about here in the contracts module, we are going to be talking about linked contracts. So we went over this very briefly in the contract module overview, but here in the linked contracts, you'll notice, for instance, I have all of my contracts showing right now, and you'll notice here in about the center, you'll notice I have these 4 contracts here. And you'll notice in this first column, I have these brackets and this tree view here. So you'll notice again that I have actually several contracts that have been linked together. And there may be several reasons that you want to do this. I think the most common one that I've come into is the situation where you have a signed and dated contract for a specific mare and stallion, and halfway through the breeding season and several cycles later, the mare is not getting in foal, and they ask if they can switch mares. So you go ahead and accommodate them and allow them to switch mares, but you want to send them a new contract. But you also want it to be related to the first contract, so you always have that history to go off of. And so that can be achieved through linked contracts. They are still separate contracts. They are just, as you see here, they are actually kind of tied together just visually here so that you can track back and say, oh, this was linked to this other one, and it allows for easier auditing and tracking of events and things that have occurred. There are other reasons for linked contracts as well, but that's the first one that kind of comes to mind. So I'm going to go ahead and do an example one here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, let's see, this one here, and I'm going to open up this contract. So let's say this contract here, contract number 19, this was the one in question, the mare is not getting in full. I'd like to send a new contract, same stallion, but this contract is now void for this mare. So I'm going to go ahead and change the status first, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say the contract is voided because this cross is not working anymore. I'm going to go ahead and save this here, and then I'm going to go ahead, once I've saved that, I'm going to go back here to my voided contract, and I'm going to go ahead and add a new linked contract now. So coming back here to contract info, clicking on add new linked contract, and again, same status you can see here, it's a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and make my new contract. I think this one was with a different feeling sharp. I think this one here will do a different owner. I'm going to go ahead and say a breeding contract. And the mare is this feeling sharp. Oh, we wanted to do a different mare. We'll do a different one here. Go ahead and do a different mare and then save. So now I've created a completely separate contract, but this contract is now linked to my old contract. So again, it makes it very easy for me to then track what happened, and so I can see from one to the other. So I'm going to change this status here from pending to active. Then I'm all done here, so I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm going to close this one here. And now you can see here, I have 2 contracts, same stud, 2 different mares, same primary owner. And I can see the first one has been voided, and now the second one is active. And I can see that these 2 have a relationship because they are linked. You can, of course, go one step further with linking contracts as well. Again, just thinking of things like auditing and trying to figure out, past 6 months later, what had happened. Another suggestion I might make too, depending on the reason why you've added a linked contract, is a couple things here. You can, first off, you can add in the yellow notes of the contract a note on what happened here. Always don't forget to save. And then also you can also add a progress note down here as well. So just a couple suggestions I might make also when considering when you are going to add a linked contract. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know if you have any questions.